world that nature has to offer in one lifetime. What a dream. To travel freely into the home of the wild ones, to live with them, to become so accepted by them that they hardly notice that you're there. That is not only my dream, that's my goal. I'm wildlife photographer Bill Porter, and I'll take you there.
I walked on the mountain and down by the sea. There I saw the many that share this world with me. We share this world with wild ones, that's the way it's meant to be. We're also meant to save them, that's the power you and me. I wandered down the valley, crossed to the other shore. There's wildlife all around us, birds and bees and so much more. We're always going to take some, that's the way it's meant to be. We're also meant to save them, that's the power in you and me. Well, I woke up to the sunrise, to the sunset too. Still I saw the wild ones, wish you had been there too. For with one touch of nature, the whole world had become kin. This message all around us, that's the way it's always been.
Porter's Wildlife Unlimited show is brought to you by Double J Tack, where genuine down-home friendliness, together with the knowledge of horses and equipment, combine to ensure you a safe riding experience. Safe riding starts with safe equipment that fits you and your horse. Jim and Joanne will make sure that it all comes together. So look for their sign, 15 miles west of Marshfield on H. Meyer Buildings of Dorchester builds a vast array of buildings. They build to suit their customers, whether you're looking for a new horse facility or a well-designed commercial building. Their sales representative and design professionals can provide you with the proper information to guide you through a successful project. They are a family-owned and operated company that has been in business for over 50 years. They strive not only to build quality buildings, but long-lasting relationships as well. Meyer Buildings of Dorchester, a relationship you can build on. Hey, Cherokee Road, what do you say we get started on that new Meyer building?
We're Midwest Trailer Sales, centrally located 3 miles west of Neilsville on Highway 10. At Midwest Trailer Sales, we specialize in equipment trailers and horse trailers, featuring Silverlight, built Western Tough, and Merhow, the oldest manufacturer in the business. Our 2 modern service bays and trained technicians offer full tongue-to-tail service, including brakes, wire modifications, and hitch installation. You can count on Midwest Trailer Sales to do the job right. Is your old camper or living quarter trailer looking tired and worn? Bring it to us for a fantastic fresh facelift. Need a utility or cargo trailer? We've got them, as well as a full line of parts and accessories. So why not come on down and see us at Midwest Trailer Sales?
Number 1 wildlife show in central Wisconsin, Bill Porter's Wildlife Unlimited show, is on Fox 55. Brought to you by Wildlife Auto. Now newer cars, still at prices you can afford. Call us today and let us help you drive a car you can be proud of and you can still afford. Wildlife Auto, cars you can afford. Sometimes a vacation by horseback is a step back in time. Meet Dennis Rabb, a man who enjoys stepping back in time. It sure is fun to come over here and ride on your sleighs and stuff. Well, what kind of sleigh are we riding with today?
Well, this is a 2-seater bobsleigh or cutter. A cutter with bobs on it turns a little bit easier and takes bumps a little bit easier than a full runner sleigh, like what you'll see the booby hut later with the long runner. That takes a lot of bumps, and you can feel the bumps.
Which one goes better in this light snow that we've got here? If you can call this light snow, it's getting pretty thin here today.
Yeah, another half an hour, I think the snow will be gone. Either one, as long as the ground's froze underneath there, I guess it ain't too bad. You know, we can still slide. But it'll be a little rough sledding here in a little bit.
Getting down there. Okay, and who's our buddy we got along with us today? Who's our little guy?
That's Fletcher, my grandson. He's about 6 years old now, and he's my right-hand man. He tells me every day and every evening after school which horses I got to hook up and which ones need to be hooked up. And so
So he's going to be driving the team pretty soon,
Yeah,
huh?
you'll be my little teamster.
I notice every once in a while you hand him the whip, but you tell him not to hit the horse there.
Yeah, he's got quite a thing about cracking the whip.
Like that?
These Arabs, they really don't need it. But
Yeah, these teams are really peppy. You can tell that by the way the bells sound. They sound so pretty on there and so forth. What kind of bells is that up there on them horses anyway?
those there are saddle chimes that I've got on these horses today. And otherwise I have a belly band with the bells on it, and we generally use that, those bells. But and then we got hip bells too that we put on the big team. But
Well, what kind of bells are them on the, you got some bells on the pole?
yeah, those are pole or shaft bells. You can put those bells with a strap, or you can screw them into the pole. They're about they're 15 years old.
Well, one thing I noticed that the bells that are on there sounds like music. It's not like a bunch of rattling bells that drive you up a wall after a long time. Man, we've been riding around here and the bells just are like having music in the background.
Yeah, they're pretty neat bells. They almost got like a little musical tune to them. But
You said that some of the bells actually make a different sound if you listen to the different bells that are on
yeah,
there.
these chimes, the bells are two different sizes, and so they make a little different tone. And
So that's what kind of makes it sound like music as you're riding along or whatever. Maybe it is just the higher tone, or maybe it's the quality of the bell, but I sure do like it up there.
maybe it's still one of my deaf ears. It gives it a little different tone.
A little different tone to you too, depends on which way you got your head turned. Right?
Yeah.
What was you telling me that one of the states at least has still got the a law on the books that you have to have bells on the sleigh?
I was just reading that out in the East Coast, it's still on the books that if you got your sleigh out and going for a ride, that you better have your sleigh bells on because you could get a fine.
Now, why is that?
Well, it used to be that out in the roads in the rural areas, they only had one trail or one lane open for the sleighs, and they had pull-off, so you could pull your sleigh off to the side and wait and listen and see if you can hear any oncoming sleighs approaching, so you didn't have a head-on collision.
So there is a practical use for these things as well as just the beauty. And like I always kind of thought, well, that's just what does Jim call it? Bling bling, he always calls it. That's right. The added sparkle, in other words, you know.
Yeah, you know, they don't make any noise. I mean, the sleighs or the cutters and the horses in the snow, so you don't really hear nothing. So at night, I suppose we really could have a good wreck if you didn't have your sleigh bells on and listening close.
Right, I guess you could, yeah. Especially with a one-way road.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we just use those straps that are on the...
as I thought about these old things and wondered how the people felt living back in those times, it reminded me about a conversation I had with J.D. about his old days.
Because,
You know, J.D., I heard that back in the old days, you really done some hard drinking.
Yeah, I used to drink a lot in the old days, and some people say it was too much.
Now, what do you call too much?
Well, I'd order 10 shots of whiskey, and I'd have them line them all up at once.
10 shots?
Yep, 10 shots. And I'd drink 5 of them just like that, 5 in a row. And they'd stop me. And they'd say, why do you do that? And I'd tell them, I'd say, if you had what I have, you do that too. And I'd drink the second just as fast. And they'd say, why do you do that? And I would tell them, I'd say, if you have what I've got, you do it too. Eventually, they'd ask me, what do you got? And I'd have to tell them, 50 cents.
Marathon Town and Country Store. We're not just a feed store anymore. I met up with Tanya and Jethro at the Marathon Town and Country Store in Wausau. and right away learn something new about the world of horses. Carrie, the owner, joined us inside.
Come on. Let's pick.
It's kind of slick here, boss. I don't know if I should put one foot up or not.
Yeah, that's kind of it. And there's actually quite a bit of wear on there already. They're a little bit pricier than a steel shoe.
Looks like it would have a lot of traction, though.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that's letting him walk in the store. A steel shoe not only would be destroying the store, but he'd be slipping and sliding everywhere.
Yeah, you'd be all over the place.
Good boy. And
We're learning all kinds of new stuff here today.
we did that partially too because really long-term soundness is the issue with this guy. I want him sound till he's 25. Or at least another 15 years out of him, so we did the shoe that was the closest to barefoot. And speaking of long-term soundness, what you're holding right there helps with long-term soundness of our trail horses. That's going to be a Pegasus sport boot. It's going to help protect all the tendons and ligaments coming down, help give them some support so they're not taking the brunt force of the ride.
Like, why I see that it stay on, can't get it on. I am doing it right, I hope.
And the nice thing with these two is that the Pegasus are breathable. If you're going to look for a boot for trail riding, you always want to make sure that they're going to be breathable. Because the ones that are pure neoprene that don't breathe, they're going to get the horse's legs really hot.
Okay. So you gotta put this on?
Sure, I can show you how to put that
I
on.
mean, we had enough trouble with me getting it open. Yeah.
Stand.
Get a hold of it?
Sure. And one of the other nice things about these boots, not only does it provide support for all of these tendons and ligaments, but the other thing that it does is it helps protect from sticks and stone bruises and everything else. Because where a horse is typically going to get poked or scraped with a stick is right through here. The other really nice thing about, now these are going to be Pegasus brand, and the nice thing about them is that they're one size fits most, and if they fit this big guy, it covers really most. And they're front or back, so they're very convenient for the trail riders because you don't have one for each leg, you just need to keep track of right and left. And actually there's children that can put these on, they're so simple to put on. How we're gonna start is there's a little pad right here, and we're gonna line that up with this divot between the tendons. And we're gonna slide it down, and the reason we're gonna do that is because we want all that hair laying nice and flat. We don't want to have any hair running up, otherwise that could be uncomfortable for them. We're going to wrap this just as tight as we can. Now the manufacturer tells you cannot wrap that too tight. And part of the reason for that is if there's any warm air in there, what's going to end up happening is it's going to heat up. So we don't want any air in there. We got that wrapped. And then we're going to, this is the important strap. This is the strap that's going to give support all the way through here. And we're going to wrap that around. You want this nice and tight. You want to bring this up. And these should meet at about a 45-degree angle. This one should be perpendicular to, or parallel to the ground, and this one should be at about a 45. And then you're set to go. 3 more, and you're done.
Figure out why she's crawling around there, can you?
And you can tell how this is going to, it's nice and thick. So you can tell how this is going to provide protection from sticks and stones as they're going downhill. Sometimes they can actually scrape down here on the ground, and this is going to provide support there too, so they don't get scraped up.
Yes, I do a lot of riding in the woods and so forth. It's probably a darn good idea for me to start using this, you know?
For trail riders, it really is fantastic. And the important thing too is that you really should always use all 4. A horse typically, when they're standing, supports about 60% of their body weight on their front legs. And then it's been proven that when you put boots on the front, they actually, because they feel the added support from those boots, they shift actually even more weight up front. So if you use boots, you really should use all 4.
It's something I was just going to ask you that, you know, could I get by with just using, you know, the front ones and whatever and so forth, you know, just being lazy, yeah?
Yeah.
But the person should put them all 4, huh?
And really,
got 4 feet, put 4 boots on.
if you're going to take a horse up and down hills and things, it's going to be those backs, it's going to be the underside of the back pasterns that are going to get the scraping when they scoot to go downhill. So really, it's going to protect from that sort of thing too. The backs really are important. And of course, they're very comfortable. You notice he doesn't even...
Didn't even think nothing of it, that you put them on them at all. Yeah.
I think we like this one. We'll just take this one. There you go. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Once again, I have a new memory. What a way to shop. Marathon Town and Country Double J Tack, where genuine down-home friendliness, together with the knowledge of horses and equipment, combine to ensure you a safe riding experience. Safe riding starts with safe equipment that fits you and your horse. Jim and Joanne will make sure that it all comes together. So look for their sign, 15 miles west of Marshfield on 8. Experience a whole new world in quality wood product. Tritt's Forest Product is your source for unique, rustic, high-quality wood product. Our natural wavy edge siding adds a striking look to the exterior of any structure. Made with a special manufacturing technique, planed or rough cut, it emphasizes the wood's natural knotty characteristics and grain pattern. And for the inside, beauty to behold. Our rustic antique oak plank flooring offers a touch of the past while adding an inviting feel. Our rustic lumber jack pine flooring is truly unique. We'll supply the beauty, you supply the love. Is that what they call it? Booby hut?
That's the name of it, Booby Hut, or Boston Booby. And
How many of these are there anyway?
there's supposed to be fewer than a dozen of them out there. I think I've seen maybe 5 now in the last few years, going to carriage auctions and out east. But I think this.
This is fancy. I mean, this is not your average individual went out and bought one of these like a Model T or something. This is.
No, they were calling this the President's sleigh. They figured it was President Grant's sleigh. But we were checking down in Illinois, down at Grant's farm, and they have records that he had a booby hut, but we have no pictures to prove it.
To prove which one it was.
Yeah, so if this was. But all the booby huts that I've seen, this is the most elegant, if there is such a word for this ugly looking sleigh.
But sure got fancy lights on it anyway. And the interior is magnificent. Man, this is.
Yeah, pretty plush. Yeah, and only governors and senators and maybe the president, they're the only ones that could afford a sleigh back in the 1800s and early 1900s.
So the only ones that get to ride in this is presidents and
Bill Porter.
Bill Porter gets to ride on this one.
Yeah, not too
I
many.
do feel quite honored to get to ride on this one.
Yeah, that sleigh was built back in 1857, but we don't have the maker of the sleigh.
Those bumps on there. I thought the way you was talking with the longer runs and so forth, that it'd be kind of rough in there, but boy, it is smooth.
Yeah, it's.
Well, yeah, I gotta have somebody shut the door. I can't be shutting my own door.
But
Go upper up there, huh?
yeah, a little bit hairier up there.
So Bill, if you want to get any.
Well, I noticed this one here, we're getting by without too much snow either.
Okay.
We got a lack of snow today, and within another, like you say, another half hour or so, we probably wouldn't have any. But it pulled along there real nice. The horses pulled it nice.
Yeah, once they get it flipping along, there's no drag, so it moves all right. It's just the turning it. You gotta have a nice packed trail if you want to turn it, because something could snap and break, I assume. But I don't take it out too often. I think it's about the first time we took it out in 3 years. And the guy I bought it from, he didn't take it out for 27 years. So.
Oh, now I really do feel honored to go for a ride.
Yeah, it's quite a unique piece. I really don't believe that those lights really belong to the booby hut. I think they're way too big. I think they're first lights, but they were on the sleigh when we bought it, so they're going to stay with the sleigh until we pass it on.
And that probably won't be for a long time here. It looks like you're kind of in love with that thing.
Yeah, we're talking about restoring it, but we don't know if we should or we just leave it authentic the way it is.
You could go right over the back. Right under, around the shoulders, right around the belly.
Okay.
They go on the back, right in front of their back legs. They make it good because their back legs are always hitting them and moving. So they always make a good sound. So you can hear them almost a mile once they get
Now,
going.
what are you telling me you got there? What's that? It looks like a footrest.
These here are foot warmers. And actually they heat these up in a little stove and pull this out. And you put this here brick in there in your stove or on your stove until it gets almost cherry red, they say. And you got to use tongs, and once it gets cherry red, you put it back in there, close her up, and she should be good for 8 hours, they claim. This one here, I don't know if I ever pulled it out. Oh, yeah, this one had one in too. Film, they're just light as a feather. So I don't know if they're...
Holy
If
crap.
they're made out
I
of-
thought they looked like a regular brick, but
Yeah,
no,
they must
they're
be made out of
a certain
lava or
kind of
something.
thing. Yeah, they're very, very light. Oh yeah, maybe lava would hold heat longer. Yeah, sorry to say. Okay, and what are the...
This here
Well, it
is
looks like you got a bearskin rug there.
Yeah, this is made out of grizzly bear. This is a lap rope, and it's warm. Like when you cover up with that thing when you're sleigh riding, at least your body don't get cold. Old Grizzly, he lost his life for this one. This one here is buffalo. This is getting kind of, has probably rough treatment. But that's, you know, they're over 100 years old, so if we look this good when we're 100, we use this one all the time because it's the most ratty of them all. And that, feel how thick that is. I mean, that's just like wool.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
No wonder they're warm.
Yeah.
See that? Yeah, that bear has got so many hairs per square inch and stuff. That's why they're so warm up there, you know.
So if you ever notice your bear's missing,
We're looking for a new coat, huh?
There you go. Okay.
we ready?
We're ready. Everybody on?
Yep.
Ready to ride.
And he says, go, we go.
This is a real vacation by horseback. You get out here and you bring your families out and you just enjoy the afternoon. And I've always said that if you get out and just spend an hour or two or 3 or 4 or whatever and get away from your everyday grind, that's a vacation by horseback as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, it's really refreshing for me. I enjoy sleigh rides and carriage rides, and we do ride those Arabians too, and go saddleback riding trips. But I do love the draft horses too, and the awesome power that they have.
It's a different ride, you know, when you're, I mean, not only that you're riding in the sleigh, but it's a whole different feel. It's like you said, there's all these massive horses there. You got like a lot of horsepower. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
One thing that you was telling me that you don't get to do it as much as you think that you should. If you own the horse and you own the sleigh and the woods is there and so forth, but you don't get out there very often.
Yeah, you think you could go out almost any day in the wintertime, but man, there's some cold days, and then we always have that thaw. I don't know if it's in January or February that melts all our nice snow and makes it an ice pack, and so it makes it pretty difficult to go out there then. So there's just a few days that you can really get out and enjoy it. And then if there is a good snow, you better be calling your friends up there to go for a sleigh ride because you don't know how long it's going to last here in Wisconsin.
And especially, like you say, the weather, you know, it could be beautiful and let's go for a ride this afternoon. And tomorrow it'll be 40 below zero and the wind blowing and we don't really want to be out there, you know. I did notice you got some nice, what do you call it, a warming shack there or a warming cabin? Or?
Yeah, that's the 1 row shack out there. That's where we have our parties and our get-togethers. And
We didn't have time for me to stop there this afternoon, or I didn't have time, I should say. But really looks nice. Looks like you got it really.
Yeah, there's a nice big heating stove in there that keeps the place about 70, 80 degrees if you want it, and even hotter than that if you want to keep stoking her up. And then there's a ring of fire out back that you can warm up, but usually just your face gets warm at that one, your toes don't get too warm.
I was going to say, I thought some of them had a campfire out back there, or a bonfire, you know. It was warming up that way. You know.
Yeah.
Not that we needed it too much today, but we was out right now.
You know, about the day before when we had 75 kindergarten kids out there, I think it was like 10 above, and the wind was blowing out of the northwest about 20 miles an hour. So you were kind of looking forward to that shack, but for about 3 hours I never got off the seat of the bobsleigh or standing on the bobsleigh, so I got a little cold, but it was well worth it.
Well, especially when you can make that many kids that happy, you know. You said that you couldn't hardly, you know, they was just laughing and giggling and stuff all the way and saying a little faster or, you know, trying to tell you how to drive the team. And it sounded like you was really enjoying it.
This is my kind of ride. Where are you going to go to sleep? Talk about comfortable. Holy crap.
We got you nice and warm, right? Here, isn't it?
And he says, go, we go.
Thinking about doing more rides next year if you can.
Yes, I'm retired now, so I got another 10 years I can be messing with these horses, I suppose. Then I'll just be catching up to your age.
I was just going to say, I think that's a little, that's one of those little jabs there, you know. I'll be as old as you by that time was. And you as a driver was having more fun going around the outside.
Yeah, as long as it's not my sleigh, I really don't care how many trees I nick up.
See, now I knew what I was talking about when you said you want to drive for a little while, and I said, no, I'll put that off until next time. You know? I didn't want to nick up that sleigh either. You know?
How far around there is that anyway?
It's got to be almost a mile around this year, out the outside stretch.
Oh yeah, plus all the trails in between and so forth. That's really neat.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could almost get lost if you don't know where the sun is.
That would be good.
Sue, smile.
Oh, I don't want to smile. How about
So
you?
who's Caroline? I never did meet
This is
who's
Caroline.
who.
This is Carol of Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, that's Kenny's wife.
And who's the little guy?
That's Blake.
That's
our
our
grandson.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Can you say hi?
And who are you?
Mackenzie.
Kinsey?
Yeah, our granddaughter.
Okay.
And
And-
Fletcher.
Our
He's the
grandson.
horse
Boy, that's a
man.
nice picture with you three in there. That looks like a portrait. That looks neat. And who's sitting way in the back?
That's Vicky and her granddaughter.
This is my granddaughter, Coda. Look at me with the camera.
Can you smile?
Coda, I like that name.
Once again, the afternoon went too fast, and I had to bid farewell to some new friends. Friends that found a way to have a lot of short but very enjoyable vacations by horseback.